I may not repeat studios, but anyhow, I think kuti vanhu maakutinzwa zvakanaka. We'll get everyone online to know zvakamira sei panapa. But I hope things are okay now. Some tweaks of things there. I don't know what had happened, but anyhow, we're back on. Vapedza maswera sei?
Ndaswera kana maswera wa DJ.
Kuri seiko kunobviwa?
Kuno ku right ta live here.
Ta live.
Ndichida kuti ndimhorese maZimbabweans kumativi mana enyika kwese kwavari. Sally, I can see, I think in this Sally Cheta indeed so far.
Mwarkuya.
Mwarkuya. No, kuno kuti right here. But you know, we are mourning. Our guys have been arrested. Our cars have been banned. The terrorism in Zimbabwe.
No, that's fine. I'm going to come back to you about that. Really what had taken place, but Sally, how are you there in South Africa? I hope you can hear me now clear.
You didn't greet me in Shona.
Sally was going to say to South Africa.
Taswera kana maswera o DJ Sodza.
Good. Would you like to greet our listeners before we go any further?
Good evening, DJ Sodza. Good evening, Elliot. Good evening, Comrade Chief Soswe. And good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. And my thoughts, my prayers, my good energy, my strength and everything go to MDC supporters in Zimbabwe and anybody else that was caught up in that disgusting show. Keep strong. Keep moving forward.
Thank you so much, Sally, for that. Chief Soswe Maskarate. All right. Chief Soswe muripo ira hapo kana uti are still frozen there ku America kuna na Trump ari ku France ka. Mukoma Wilbert.
Hello, sir.
How are you, my dear?
I'm okay. I noticed you have sorted the radio.
Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine. Something was happening there. I blame Sally for all that.
All right.
How unusual.
Otherwise, how are you, my brother?
I'm okay. I noticed my results have already come out. Maramba Fungwe.
Zumba Maramba Fungwe, we've got the results already here.
Our friend Dr. Moyo was rather late. His name is not even on the losing list.
No, I think Moyo has gone to bed because you are on the forum, isn't it? The Men's Corner forum. There was some heated debate there with Tish earlier on.
Oh, he got a dirty hiding.
So, Wapepe, tell us what happened to the MDCT youth, there in Harare. We saw some tear gases and we saw now people sending in some cars that have been banned. In fact, a car that was banned. What happened? Was this organized? We didn't know that there was going to be any demonstration there. Did you know about it?
Yes, I was aware of it. I think if you were following, you would have discovered that although, yes, we've been talking about BVR, but somehow, of late, there have been evidence that even Tobias Mdede's office, ZEC, and ZANU-PF are colluding to rig the elections at the stage of registration. So we picked that up through our investigations, and our youth were proactive. They organized and staged a demonstration for a transparent process of registration, which was staged yesterday. And it was, as usual, we are dealing with a rogue regime. So it was met with violence, tear gassing, people who were, according to our constitution, peaceful demonstration. And it is their right to do so. But we saw them being dispersed by the police and tear gassing. And as I speak, 2 of our guys were arrested yesterday, Edmore and Darlington from Harare Province Youth, and they are in custody at the moment, and they are being charged with the vandalism, irrespective of the fact that nothing was vandalized. And they are actually trying to drum up other charges, which has nothing to do with yesterday's event. And I think you could have picked it up that I also documented some a video of the ZANU-PF militia about 2 weeks ago in Mashingo. They were having their drills. So ZANU-PF have been recruiting, and I think many of our listeners will remember that in 2014, ZANU-PF passed a resolution, the Politburo, to restart the youth training program, and they are using these people, the youth program, to actually sort of terrorize the opposition, and including the rural areas. And we saw today, we woke up in the morning only to find that cars belonging to youth have been vandalized deliberately. And this is a state terrorism that we've always been saying. And I think opposition parties, we need to unite. This is an occasion where we need to unite. I know there are some people, there's a lot of other political parties which have just registered or launched themselves this year, and if they think that politics in Zimbabwe is a walk in the park, this is a wake-up call that we still have a mountain to climb as far as to remove ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is a party that is born out of blood, and they will stop at nothing to terrorize voters. And here is a good example, a clear example that the elections in 2018 are not going to be free and fair.
Thank you so much, Wapepe. So nobody was injured in this demonstration and this heavy hand from police, as far as you know?
No, as far as I know, my office have not received any injuries other than the cases of smoke inhalation, which, yes, some, have suffered out of that, but we are not talking of physical injury as far as we are concerned.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you, Kutisana Ngudzira. What happened there? Sally, you saw what happened there. What was your thoughts?
Not surprising at all.
It's nothing new, is it?
This is what I've said is going to happen, and I can bet my bottom dollar on it. We are coming up to the elections. The closer we get, the more they are going to clamp down on the people, okay? ZANU-PF have a complete and utter hysterical, destructive fear, okay, of the freedom for the people to express their political affiliations, or whatever you want to call it. Zek, or whatever you call the thing, all right? I don't know how anybody can believe that that is independent. I mean, that's just a joke. It has never been independent. It never will be independent, okay? And of course, they're going to fiddle. Listen, nothing ZANU-PF has ever done in 30-something years has ever been to the betterment of the country and the people. It has been to the betterment of ZANU-PF to make sure they stay in power so that they can loot the country dry, okay, and blame it on everything else and everybody else, okay? And 2018 is going to be the worst election that Zimbabwe has ever known, okay? I can guarantee you that. The violence, the violence is going to be off the scale.
Okay.
And fear, people have to realize something in Zimbabwe. If they want to change, fear is a luxury. You're going to have to face ZANU-PF head on. And it comes for blood, that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's
because if ZANU-PF is going to win the 2018, what is going to be left of Zimbabwe people? Please. Just think of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sally. Thank you so much, Sally. Mukoma Wilbert.
Hello.
Yeah, you saw what happened yesterday. Your thoughts on that?
Yes, I saw what happened. What I can't understand is we keep coming back to this issue of violence, vote rigging. And the reality is, I agree with Sally that ZANU-PF will never change. ZEC will never be independent. But the point is, this is where SADC said in 2008, implement the reforms. Don't participate in the elections without the reforms, because they will be rigged. Why are we keeping on participating? I mean, this seems to be some people have got a mental blockade there. You know, they can't think beyond participating. They think participation is the only option on the table. It is not.
DJ,
you know, some people
objection.
Yes.
Objection. DJ.
Oh, okay.
What we are talking about has nothing to do with 2008. We are talking about the violence of yesterday. We are talking about the violence of today. Can we deal with that, please?
No, Feve, you said your piece. Speak as well. This is the problem with you. You don't want to listen to other people.
They are not reforms. They are aligning the constitution. That's not reforms.
That is not
violence. Again and again since independence. That is true about yesterday's violence.
I object.
Don't try to pretend it is something completely new. It's not. This violence is something that we have seen happen again and again. Vote rigging is something that ZANU-PF has been doing all along. Why are you pretending something new?
Okay.
We are talking violence.
You should listen to other people, Feve. That's the problem with you. You don't listen to anybody else.
I object to DJ. He is taking us to 2008.
Okay.
We will not pass this issue.
Hold on a second. Mukoma Wilbert.
Hello, sir.
Right. Mukoma Wilbert, so what you are saying is that this is nothing new. I understand what you're saying. This is nothing new. In your own opinion, this business of saying there is election next year, we should forget about it, or opposition parties should boycott all these so-called elections, which are a shame, and just say we are not going to participate in these general elections coming up. That's what you're telling us here. You know, from what happened yesterday, this is a clear indication that we should not participate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But DJ, put it this way. If you know the elections are going to be rigged, you know that for certain. Yeah?
Hmm.
Why would you participate?
Right.
That is the question here. Why would you go on participating in an election that you already know has been rigged?
Right.
Or is
Mukoma, Mukoma, or something. I did ask that very same question. I mean, years and years they've gone by now. I can't believe it's been years and years doing this show. But what I was told is that the Constitution of Zimbabwe says if they call for an election and somebody don't participate, the one that participates will win. If there's only one party that is going to participate, if they get 2 votes, they will be voted in, and that's it. End of story. Now, in that situation, the opposition have got no legs to stand on, have they?
No, the point there, DJ, is that in this particular case, particularly when you look at the level of violence that happened in 2008, this is why the GNU was formed. Everybody saw the elections were so blatantly rigged. There is no way ZANU-PF could be said it as won. And that is the point that SADC has been trying to emphasize. And if we don't see it ourselves, you do not participate in an election. Even us, SADC, that's why they were saying to MDC, do not participate in these elections because they will be rigged. SADC was not going to recognize an election if MDC and the other opposition parties had not participated. Okay. The minute you participate, you give it the whole process.
Answering the question. You are not answering the question. The DJ asked the question, right? Our constitution says that if the state calls for an election, right? If you don't register, you don't participate, right? The election will go ahead, and that's a fact. And that's constitutional. That's in the constitution. Both in the previous constitution and the new constitution.
Okay.
We are not talking
Let me answer it in the favor.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. The 2008 elections were held and they were processed, and nobody recognized the result. Is that in the constitution? It's not. It doesn't. The whole point is if the election is
DJ, can I come in? There's a distortion there. It's not true that the elections were not recognized because of the rigging. The elections, what happened is, because the first round of the election, right? Nobody, according to ZEC, right? After their rigging mechanism, they said nobody got 50%, according to the new constitution. You have to get more than 50% to be an outright winner, right? Which then means that the second round was only for the top 2. It is only at that point that you can boycott. Can you get what I'm saying? Because no other person other than the top 2 are running. This is why in 2008, MDC, I don't know where he's getting all this misinformation. In 2008, MDC boycotted the election, right? Because it was possible, there were only 2 parties. No other party would be formed and join the right? And this is why SADC and African Union were able to intervene. Because if you remember, even Mugabe tried to go it alone. It was a madman's race, right? But it was clear.
Okay.
This, we are talking about a first round this time around. Any GQ, anybody can participate.
Okay, Feve, can we answer? Can somebody else answer as well?
Right.
The point there is when Mugabe declared himself the winner of the second round, the international community, even SADC and the AU, refused to accept those results.
Which was justified.
No, listen, you don't listen. That's the problem with you, Feve. And
No,
you people, MDC. You always seem to know the answer. Let somebody else say something as well. Then you can reply. It's supposed to be a dialogue. It's not just be supposed to be a monologue where you are preaching to us. Okay.
No, the problem to you, Wilbert, is that we are talking about violence of yesterday and violence of today.
Let me speak as well. You said,
2008.
are you going to listen to other people, or are you going to only speak here?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
The point in 2008 is that even when Mugabe declared that he had won it with 84%, nobody recognized those results, and he had no legitimacy. And he was told no uncertain terms. If you want to be recognized, you'll have to go into the government of national unity, and that's where they signed the global political agreement. SADC itself, even if they cannot deny it, did advise MDC before the 2013 elections that do not participate in these elections. Why would they say that to you and then turn around and say and recognize whoever had participated? Because they know good elections are.
Can I say something, please?
Okay.
But the minute you participate, you give them credibility. And once you've given them credibility, you can't turn around and say, oh, they rigged elections. No.
Sorry.
I want to ask Wilbert a question or two, please.
All right, go ahead.
Right. Now, what's it going to prove? First of all, they are not reforms. It's aligning the constitution that needs to be done. And ZANU-PF is not going to align themselves out of power. So that is, it doesn't matter what SADC and the rest of the world say, it ain't going to happen. And boycotting an election, what's it going to prove?
Credibility, Sally.
Oh, come on.
If themselves said we want to recognize these results because they're irregular, why would we recognize them then?
It wouldn't be rigging elections. ZANU-PF cares about power, not credibility.
Now,
it cares about power.
In 2008, what did they care about power or credibility?
Power.
Did they lose power? Did they surrender power? No, they didn't. Even after they were beaten.
You seriously think going into the GNU was not surrendering power?
Wait.
Okay, guys. Okay. Please hold on. Right, Chief Sose.
Hey.
Yeah. Tinofara Chief Sose.
Zimbabwe.
Now, Chief Sose, there's quite a lot of things we want to talk about, but you know what happened yesterday? Violence erupted again, and nothing is going to change. We know this is going to happen. Now, I'm just asking, what did you make of that violence which took place yesterday? I saw now the pictures of some of the cars that were, banned, the MDC car that was banned and all that kind of stuff. What did you make of it?
It's ZANU-PF all over again, and I want to warn ZANU-PF and its followers here and in Zimbabwe that this is the beginning of the end. It's just the beginning of the season that is coming. What happened yesterday was just a warm-up of what is going to come. The people of Zimbabwe are tired. The people of Zimbabwe are angry. If you talk to the people there who are suffering every day, you will not even listen to what Anamkoma Wilbert are saying here. People are angry and people are ready to act. And this is what is going to happen. And it will be continuous. Because this is the only language that ZANU-PF and ZEC understand. There are so many blunders that ZEC has made. There are so many blunders that ZEC continue to make. And we cannot allow them to get away with that. Because it's tantamount to allowing them to get away with murder. And like I always say, we as Zimbabweans must continue to push ZEC about the electoral reform. Because surely, if we go into elections in 2018 with the field as it is and the level as it is, ZANU-PF has already won. So our hope is in fighting. Our hope is our hope is in pushing ZANU-PF to the wall, ZEC to the wall. So we'll continue to do that. And I'm not just saying this from noise. Right now, as we are speaking, it's not going to be demonstrations only. We are fighting ZEC in the courts. Transform Zimbabwe last week filed a case against ZEC, and theirs is on proof of residence because there are a lot of anomalies there. MDC is also filing a case right now as we are speaking, and their case is on polling stations. You remember the mapping program. There are polling stations right now that were discovered. All those issues have to be addressed before we can go for a free and fair election. Us, as concerned citizens of Zimbabwe, we are also filing our own case against ZEC, and that one is challenging ZEC to review, to tell the people of Zimbabwe where they are getting the servers, where they are getting the central system that was supposed to be tendered. We all remember that Rita Makarau said she was going to have another tender. She was going to float another tender to have to buy the server. And then we wrote a letter to her asking her to review the names. And then 2 days later, she turned around and said, oh, we're not going to float another tender. We already have the server. And now we've been putting pressure on her. Where did you get the server? We want to know, as the people of Zimbabwe, where she got the tender. So we'll continue to put pressure in the court and in the street. In Harare, we were in Harare yesterday, and we are going to go to other cities, and we'll come back to Harare, and we'll continue to do that. And I know the people of Zimbabwe are willing to do that. And I'm just appealing to the people who are here in the diaspora not to be bystanders or to come to radio shows or TV shows and analyze without doing anything. You have a part to play back home. And if you don't know how to play that part, talk to me. We have to do this together. And if we continue to do it together, something is going to happen. If ZANU-PF is not willing to do things that are supposed to be done as prescribed by SADC, we have to push them. We have to force them to do that because they are never going to willingly do it.
All right. Ndatenda zvangu Chief Soswe. Tetuwe mashoko maswera seiko.
That's good.
Aya tinofara Jose. You saw the violence that erupted yesterday. Is this the normal thing that is going to happen now leading up to the election, and really can it be credible?
Well, you know what, it's interesting. First of all, you don't solve a problem by creating another problem. That is just a temporary. And when you have done something to grow, to mature, you always learn from your past mistakes, successes, and so forth. So let's go back. First of all, MDC yaka boycott. Azvinakwa zvakaenda. Mugabe vanhu vakatry kunegotiata GNU short term again band-aid kune a bigger issue, and now people more or less are fleetingly kind of saying we might go there. You know what, first of all, kana tichitaura future yenyika tirikutaura vana vedu, tirikutaura vazukuru vedu. Saka kana tichitaurira vana vedu vazukuru vedu, who really should really be standing up and talking and saying, you know what, future inini zvandakaita izvi handisi kuzvida, I want better for my children. It's vana vedu, ndoma custodians at the future of the country. And as such, when kana vana vachienda muma streets vachino demonstrate vorowa, isusu vakuru, we shouldn't really be ambiguous about what we really want to do for the country. We should be very clear and very straightforward about what the future should look like. We should be monitoring, mentoring, encouraging vana vedu. Saka kana tikapinda isusu tine mindset nekuti every hondo 50% psychological. Kana isusu tikaenda kuhondo vana vedu vachitidzwa tichiita discussions vanekawaya. You know what, maybe if we do this, maybe if, you know, almost self-defeated, almost you're predicting failure yako, then we are not really mapping the future and we are not helping vana vedu. Let's be clear about this. ZANU-PF, it's not about anything more power hungry. When you are dealing with countries, it's more to do with money. This has been so evident and so clear by the recent events in America. Trump akanosiya zvinhu zvake akaenda kupower akati aiwa ndibhadhareyo zvenyu dhora. It has nothing to do with anything. Arimo mupower imomo ndo munouya futi more wealth. As much as people will tell you kuti no, not really. So let's go back kuvana vedu. Vana nhasi inini vese vana Pebve, vana Babongo, Dziva, Save and everybody else, I'll be applauding them and encouraging them. If I had a clear message, you know what? Moto chama, tadena mangwiro, mvura vanokwanisa kuunza mvura dzichiendeswa strategically kumirira vana kana vadirwa tear gas. Chikafu, madoctors, nekuti whether you like it or you don't, hondo chaiyo yekutora nyika, isiri hondo yekutora futi. But iyoyo yekukandirana mategas, vana vachikanda matombo, and kutaura, being clear kuti enough is enough. Kuenda vanhu sit-ins office mama karao. Kunyatsova clear, be it media, be it social media, kuti enough is enough. Atisku settle for negotiations. Atisku settle for maybe mungachinje this. Isusu constitution yedu ndo yatiri kuda zviri muconstitution umboro rakaitwa nevanhu. Up to now I really feel bad and sad for pari mukwashongo weku-MDC uya wakapedzisira arohwa vanhu vachimutuka mazuva aibuildwa the constitution, and yet that same constitution is not being fully utilized. People are not standing pasina zvekuva nankere kuti non-partisan, ngativei non-partisan. It's neither here nor there kuti MDC 1 or 2 or whatever. It's neither there. Tiri kuda zveconstitution yedu, vanhu havabvumirwe kurohwa, vanhu ngatienda zvokutaurirana zvakapera. If mukasatiteerera, this is what we are prepared to do, and you mean it.
Okay, Aiwa, thank you so much, Teteo Mashoko. Sekuru ku Birmingham. Hello, Sekuru, can you hear me? Right. Ku Australia uko vamoyo masikira sei?
Tamuga mkoma masikira sei.
Aiwa, tatswira. Marara here ni mukoma?
Zvekungobwaira izvozvo.
How many hours did you actually sleep? Because ndandikuona muri kukwishurana namukoma tichi zvimwe zvinototyisa chaizvo when I was preparing to come on radio a couple of hours ago. So I'm just being it's just a brotherly love here kuti marara here because we need you to sleep.
Yeah, 1 hour chete.
Right.
Yeah.
Vamoyo, I know you've commented on this Pakandwa, the car that was bent. I think the chief also Akanda forum and you came out and condemned the activities which took place yesterday in Harare there, where the MDC youth were tear gassed by police and all that. What did you make of all that, Frank?
No, violence must be condemned from both sides. If we condemn violence on one side and condone it on the other side, we are not doing anything, we are not achieving anything. Both sides must desist from violence. Violence, in that in most cases, the people who get the worst, who come out worst from any violent activity, are the people who have nothing to do with what is going on. Innocent bystanders. These are the people who suffer most. I mean, violence is not good at all. So I think we need to desist from violence.
Who caused the violence yesterday?
Sorry?
Violence yesterday.
No, both sides are to blame.
Both sides.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
This is a peaceful demonstration and it's enshrined in the law.
In the first place, when you say in the law, was it sanctioned by the police?
What are you talking about? Where is it? That's a poster. You're talking about poster which is illegal. The new constitution does not warrant anybody to apply from the police.
Yes, but
we've got a problem.
Has it been aligned yet?
Yeah,
yes.
According to the new constitution, that is Robert Mugabe, the president, signed, that 96% of the population voted for, gives, an expression, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, and you don't need to notify the police.
Yeah, but that freedom of association does not involve the freedom to curtail other people's associations as well.
Well,
I mean, a crime becomes a crime when...
I don't understand, but the MDC youth, they were marching along the roads, demonstrating.
But okay,
I acknowledge what you are saying. That does not mean that you have to tell other people to freedom. I do agree with that. I'm just asking a question. The youth were marching freely, non-violent, until the police tear gassed them. What freedom were they curtailing?
No, you are saying I
never said. I said they were marching. When you are demonstrating, you march.
All right.
Yeah.
I think you will explain when it is your turn. If it is my turn,
okay. Explain because what did you make of the fracas that happened yesterday? That's my question, Kwamuri.
No, both sides are to blame, like I'm saying.
Now I'm asking, which sides are you talking about here?
The police and the MDC youths.
Oh, okay. Can you explain further on that?
What about the of youth that burned the cars?
Which cars? That I'm gonna one car and in fact I'm gonna picture. I'm not even aware. I'm not even aware. Okay.
I think we are going nowhere. Ramoyo, Matimimi, both MDC and the police were wrong. What did each party did wrong there, please?
Yeah, according to the information that I have, the MDC youths were actually throwing stones at the police, and the police throwing tear gas at the MDC youths. So it was a case of this one attacking the other and the other one attacking back, or back and forth. So there's a difference between kurowa nekukurirwa. Kurowa munhu anongorohwa akazvimirira, kukurirwa munhu anozorohwa zvakanyanya iye anga achidzoserawo. Saka from the information that I get, which is what I have, the MDC youths were also throwing stones at the police, and the police were throwing tear gas back. So it was a case of people exchanging, and this is where the condemnation comes from both sides. This is what I'm talking about.
But Ramoyo, I'm failing to understand one thing here. I'm failing to understand. It's a shame that I wasn't there. But if I go out of the street here and start marching, Kuti, we want reforms. Did these youth just started throwing at the police? Or did the police started tear gassing them? This is the question, because for one to retaliate, there was provocation there. Now, what I don't know is who started this provocation, because that's where the blame should go. Don't you think?
Yes, then we would actually need more details to that effect, because we have had situations where the MDC has had their gatherings, they've had their marches,
So,
which were not disturbed by the police
so
before. I mean, this is.
yes, I find it very hard that the MDC
Mhm.
could gather people to say, okay, guys, let's go and march, and if we see any police, we throw the stones at the police solely for that reason. Can they go in the street to throw stones on police? I find it very
Yeah,
hard.
in fact, yes, that is the reason why I inquired to begin with to say, but was this whole thing sanctioned by the police? And they came in, like, no, we don't need it to be sanctioned by the police. So what would actually happen is, in the absence of authority from the police to perform anything, once there is now a gathering, and then the police are likely to take action to diffuse that gathering, because it is not sanctioned by the police. So
According
that
to
could be the
which
beginning.
section, which chapter, which law?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, and you know the law I'm talking about.
There's no section
And
in your
and
constitution.
the, various political parties have been approaching the police all along and seeking the authority. Could not we want to do this? And last time, you are aware very much, when these demonstrations were about to take place, Israel organized by the MDC, they approached.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com. You're listening to Zimbabwe's finest radio station, broadcasting worldwide. Zimnet Radio, the people's choice.
Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time, discussing Zimbabwean politics.
Morocco, tunoita zvakanaka, tumadziso netunzewe, dzese dzinofadza kuza imureza wedu weZimbabwe, kubvira kuvata mbezi kusvika ipapo navakungamiri.
zvakaoma ndandiri kumbotaura nasekuru kuseruko. Pane problem. One problem. My settings are also cool at the moment. He's trying hard to be with us. But anyhow, all right. Regaiti tangi. Tutanga papi. Regaiti tangi nemi tete salia.
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yes, Sally. What do you think is going to happen next year in these elections? What is going to be the outcome? What do you think is going to happen? What's your gut feeling?
ZANU-PF's going to win. And not through legal means, not through fairness, not through anything else. A desperation for power and violence and abuse and coercing of the rural people. So I don't want them to win. Oh, please, dear God, I do not want them to win. Okay. So much would have to change. The people would have to decide that they've had enough. The opposition parties would have to decide to come together. I mean, really come together and be united. Okay? But the most important thing is that the people would decide, the povo on the ground in Zimbabwe, the ones that have been suffering for years, the ones that have lost families, the ones that have been beaten up, the ones that have had their homes burned, the ones that have been abducted, they are the ones that are going to have to stand up and say, right, this is it. We are meeting you the way you have met us for all these years. Fear is a luxury. We are not afraid anymore. Do or die. But you are not winning this election. So until I see that kind of commitment come from the people, the povo, ZANU-PF will win.
Will win it, okay. Thank you so much, Sally, for that. Sekuru, can you hear me now? No, okay, not. Regarding kuna Wamoyo. Wamoyo, what do you think is going to happen next year?
No, what I know is I agree with Sally. ZANU-PF will win. The reasons that she gave is, to me, that is the usual wishy-washy. But everybody knows the truth anyway, so there's no point of speculating. Everybody
they know the truth, Moyo.
They will win.
What is the truth about their winnings?
All right, the truth, Mkoma, is it is not proper to assume that vanhu kuZimbabwe vanotya and vanotyisidzirwa and vanomanikidzwa. That statement is unacceptable because it assumes that Zimbabweans are toddlers who never grow up, who need somebody to.
No, it doesn't.
So that is not acceptable. Those people are mature people, mature adults who know what they want.
Who the fear of God have been put into them.
Who know what they are going to do. So the element of fear is a complete fabrication. We are looking at people who know what they want. So in that regard,
okay, hold on, guys.
People are going to vote.
Let's give one more chance.
People are going to vote with their. People are going to vote with their conscience, knowing exactly what they are voting for, and the outcome of their decision is what is going to come out, and it will stand.
And you think it's ZANU-PF they're going to clinch it?
Everybody knows it's ZANU-PF. Not that I think. No, everybody knows.
All right. Aywa. Thank you so much, Vamoyo, for that. We shall play this in July, August next year when when the elections result come through. Hopefully, they won't take
Yeah,
6
I
weeks
would
before
suggest
they can. Sorry.
I would suggest you play it even just before, so that people become aware, in case
Yes.
others may decide to forget. And then yeah,
I'm an elephant. I never forget.
Right. Okay.
That's why I said they decide to forget. I'm speaking in English. Yes.
Elephants don't decide to forget. They don't have control over it.
All right.
They don't forget.
But here I'm
End
talking
of
of
story.
people who decide to forget.
Okay. All right. Aywa. Ndatenda zvangu.
Jump on a plane going to Mars or something, please.
Ndatenda zvangu. Right. Mukoma Chief Sose, Chief Sose, what do you think is going to be the outcome of this election that are coming up? So far, Saleh said ZANU-PF are going to win, but not in a legitimate way. Vamoye is saying that ZANU-PF are definitely going to win in a very legitimate way, where people are going to vote for the party of prosperity. Imemi Omunoti Chief Sose, what do you think is going to happen? Because, like I say, we might have to play this back again. So be careful of what you say there.
Right, I'll be very careful, and but I'll be very honest. Under the present circumstances, with the playing field and level as it is, and if we, the people of Zimbabwe, allow ourselves to go for elections the way the field is, ZANU-PF will romp to victory. ZANU-PF will definitely win, no two ways about it, but they would not have won it legitimately or fair. However, we as the people of Zimbabwe should never allow ZANU-PF to continue to do what it has been doing in the past elections. Sodza, Anzi, oppressed people cannot be oppressed forever. Achishona tinitaura kuti chisingapere chinoshura. Saka where we are right now, as Zimbabweans, we have no choice but to fight. We have to fight ZANU-PF in the courts, like I've said. Join us, those who want to help. We have to fight ZANU-PF on social media. As I'm speaking right now, ZANU-PF gave smartphones to ZANU-PF youth, and they are busy confusing people on social media. They are busy spoiling their propaganda on social media. We want the people of Zimbabwe, the youth of Zimbabwe, particularly those in the diaspora, we have Wi-Fi, wire, to also come forth and fight this propaganda on social media. Those who can write, come, let's fight this propaganda. Let's fight ZANU-PF, let's fight ZEC with our writing. As concerned citizens, we are starting a newsletter that will be going in the streets next week. It will be in Shona, it will be in Ndebele, it will be in English, and it will be distributed free. Inenge ichienda kumaruzevha, vanhu vanenge vachienda kumbare vachinopa vanhu pamabhazi, vachienda nayo kuma-growth point. Because what the people of Zimbabwe need right now is consciousness. They need to be educated, not that they are not educated. That awareness of what ZANU-PF is doing, so that they can go in the street. You cannot tell a person who doesn't understand what is doing, what is happening, to go in the street. So we hope that newsletter will help to educate Zimbabweans so that we fight this. As Zimbabweans, let's fight ZANU-PF, let's fight ZEC in the street. Now it's for those who are in Zimbabwe. Let's go in the street and fight and express our opinion. Fight ZEC, because our problem is with ZEC. If the playing field is not made level, we'll go for those elections and we'll lose. Anzi na Martin Luther King, the oppressed, the oppressor will never give freedom. It is the oppressed who has to demand freedom. So this is the point where we are as Zimbabweans. We have to fight, we have to get this freedom, we have to demand, we have to fight for this freedom. People are going to get injured. izvozvi so zvekutaura kwatiri kuita kune vanhu about 6 or 7 vari kuma-avenues vakarohwa nezuro. 5 of them vari mungirikini vari kuchikurubhi vakasungwa nezuro. One of them is even being charged with murder. Yemupurisa akaurayiwawo zvako akaurayiwa. Ari kunzi akaurayiwa nemunhu we-MDC. So we have no choice but to keep fighting this system. And it's not for the people in Zimbabwe only. It's for everyone, even those in the diaspora. Find something that you can do. Join a group, join a political party, and do something. Because that is the only way.
Right. Okay. Sekuru madzoka here.
Ndiani ari kundifonera?
Hapana muna kufonera isekuru.
Saka uri kundinzwa ako wanga uchiti haundinzwi sei?
Baba vangu chirambi. Sekuru I can't fight with you murumu mukuru, so ndofana kuisa ndiro zvininipisa. Batai makadaro sekuru chief Soswa apedzise zvavari kutaura then ndozoya kwamuri kuzvi.
Saka ndingotaura muchidimbu mukoma Sodza ndingotaura kuti vana veZimbabwe ngatibatanei tirwise hurumende iyi. Tikasarwisa ZANU-PF will never give us freedom freely. We have to fight for it. It's true, they will never align the constitution, to get themselves out of power. But if they are pushed, if they are forced, like in any revolution, they'll do it. Hapana chisingaperi. Zvinopera izvi.
Hapana chisingaperi. So basically, in short, murikutaura imimi kuti, if we go to the polls today, ZANU-PF will romp to power. But
there's no doubt about that.
In the next 8-10 months to come, if there is an uprise of Zimbabweans there, kuti atichada zvanyanya, things might change. Is that what you're saying?
Things would definitely change, Mkoma Sodza, and I'm telling you today, mark my words, people are going to rise. The people of Zimbabwe are going to rise.
But some people are saying that it has been this bad for the last 20 years. Why have people not rise? Why now?
Yeah, kutambura kurikuita vanhu zvatonyanyisa izvozvi kupfuura zvavanga zviri, ende vanhu iko zvino vamwe vacho vavhura maziso vari kuzoona kuti ZANU-PF inenge ichingonyepa pese panoitika ma-elections, inenge ichingonyepa. Most people are now aware of that, and if we continue educating each other, more people will become aware, and more people will go in the street.
Koza zvanzi wani wamugaba wakati 2.2 million jobs, kwanzi wakomana wemumba vari kudiwa stiri kumamisha uku, that's 2.2 million jobs.
Ndokutsinyira kwacho kwatiri kutaura ikoko 2 million jobs, they only created 2 jobs, that's what we know. Basa rine mukwasha wavo nebasa rine mubhana wavo. Those are the 2 jobs that they created, and the people of Zimbabwe are now aware of that.
Komana musadaro, tatenda zvako.
Unotarisisa Mukoma Sodza.
Sekuru. Nai mashura angu akadaya. Right. Okay. Regai tifambire mberi. Right. Okay. So Sali wataura, Chief Soswa wataura, vamwe wataura. Regai ndimboende pana Tetemeri hapo. Tetemeri, maswera sei?
Taswera hangu maswera DJ.
Taswera zvedu. Imi munofunga kuti zvinenge zvakamira seiko pama elections ari kuuya?
Ini ndinobvumirana nezvichangobva kutaurwa naChief Soswe. Kuti izvo chisingaperi chinoshura. Ende takada kutarisa makore ana 1980 vaya vanhu vachiri kufara kuti Zimbabwe yasununguka, zvakaitika nezvaiitika, nepane Zimbabwe nhasi uno vanhu vari kurungaira nenzara. vafunga kuti munhu anoshaya dhora chairo chairo mumaoko ake. Vanhu vari kurarama upenyu hunorwadza kumusha uku. Vanhu vakabva kumusha last year and this year vanonyatsoziva zviri kuitika kuZimbabwe. And I think I sent something last week. Is it last week or a week before last week? Pandakakuudzai kuti izvo ndakafonerwa nemunhu kubva kuZimbabwe. Zvikanzi muriko kumusha, muriko kumhiri kwemakungwa ikokoko. Vanhu vakaita ana Chimbwido nevakaita ana Mujibha vakarwa hondo vari kurejesta kumabhesi kwavo kuti vapiwe mari. Why now? Why? Vaidii kutanga kupiwa mari kudhara? Hati ndokutanga kuvhara vanhu kumeso ikoko kuri kuitwa vanhu vekuZimbabwe. Vanhu ngavachitotanga kusvinura kuti vaone kuti why is it now takunzi register tikupei mari yekurwa hondo kwamakaita sana Chimbwido nana Mujibha. Vaidii kupiwa kare kare. Kozoita mubvunzo wandoda kubvunza kuna Moyo nekuti vanga vachiti izvo mabato mapurisa nevanhu veMDCT vanovablema vese nekuive violent. But why is it kana ma-opposition parties akutanga kuita ma-peaceful demonstrations mapurisa anovavhiringidza, but kana zviri zvezano hapana zvavanovaita? Why is it always about opposition parties?
Can I tell you what he will tell you on that? He will tell you that the ZANU PF youth, they are decent people and they will not be making any violence.
They are very violent.
Well, that's what he's going to tell you. One more, would you like to answer that?
ZANU PF is very violent and the police is always supporting them.
Aiwa, zvinonzwika. Tipewozve mienzaniso. Ona izvo zvavakaita marare avo kumarondera, vakaita kwaMutare, vakaita kumasvingo. Uwandu hwevanhu vakanga varipo munongouziwawo. Saka kana pakaitwa violence paifanira kuti iri hondo chaiyo. Tipewozaniso kuti violence yakaitwa papi.
Mota dzapiswa dzeMDC neYouth yenyu.
Ndozvandandoda kutotaura. Avo ayo marali aya, but vanoziva kuti motikari instruments inoshandiswa nemunhu vanhu opposition party from point A to point B. Why vapisa motikari idzodzo iyoyo?
Ninge ko vanhu vacho vambopisa motikari ndanani?
Munovaziva? Munobvuda kuti bvunza imovaziva handimatema.
Aiwazve indanga ndichiti vanhu vachina kana vachinge vaidentifyiwa kuti uyu ndinhingi uyu ndewebato rakati pari zvimwe zvidai vaakukoti dai vakatosungwa kudhara.
Kumapurisa anopindirirei?
Mapurisa varipo pakuchengetedza mutemo.
Kuti havana banga, havana kana anything, vanhu vasimbori armed vari kungoita peaceful demonstration.
Ndinonzwisa zvamuri kutaura, asi mukanzwa zvataurwa naChief Soshapo vanga vaitaura nezvemupurisa akafa, vakati mupurisa akangofawo hake.
Akangofa hameno aidei paidemonstrata vanhu
ndoarohwa nestroke ndobva afa mupurisa uyu. Zvamuri kutaura
hameno aidei paidemonstrata kana vanhu veMDCT.
Aiwa, mupurisa haana kufa nezuro, aiwa haana kufa pademonstration. That's an unrelated incident.
Muri mupurisa wapi kwemi? Gogore rinogona kutogora rapera.
About 2 weeks ago.
Akafa nei? Akafa sei? Zvakafamba sei pamupurisa?
Well, they were not.
All right. Okay, guys. Aiwa, thank you so much. Pamsore. We don't want to know kuti mapurisa akazofa nezvirwere zvawakafa nazvo vanhu vanongofa. We are talking other issues here. But Tete Mary, a very simple question kwamure. munofunga here ibato ripi riri kuwina next election?
maopposition party vanhu vakamira pamwe chete vakabatana vanhu vese vakanovhota kubva vari muno mudiaspora kuSouth Africa nevanhu vekuZimbabwe vachona ivavo vakanyatsoziva kuti chakachenjedza ndechakatanga. ZANU-PF rangowo zuru vakapfuura nenyoka. Tichazozvitaura gore rinouya.
Alright, aiwa ndatenda zvangu. Regai ndiende pana Mukoma Wilbert. Mukoma Wilbert, what do you think is going to happen pa next general election?
It's a pity Sekura we can't contact him. Not in the anembudza. Nachida kuti vandi take the promise kuti he will also give me a goat if my prediction come true. But we can maybe
what's your prediction?
I think I admire the passion. People like Chief Soshe there and his idea. We must keep on fighting and so forth. I think if he's honest with us, the Zimbabwe public listening out there, he'll be the first one to admit that he has failed to get any reform implemented, and there's no chance of getting another reform implemented between now and the elections next year. So if we go ahead with the elections with no reforms, the result is simple enough. It's predictable. We know exactly what is going to happen because it has been happening all the time. ZANU-PF will rig the elections and get their 2/3 majority, and our opposition friends will get the remaining 1/3 or so. And it is deliberate that ZANU-PF is allowing this 1/3, because they know that as long as they offer them the 1/3, the opposition will keep on contesting the elections regardless of how hopeless it is. This is part of the trick that ZANU-PF has learned since 2008. They know if as long as you allow some of the oppositions to win, they will participate. And this is what we are seeing now. We see people in the opposition clearly saying the elections are being rigged, complaining of the violence and so forth. And yet you cannot persuade them to say, why are you participating? They'll keep on participating because they are going for that 1/3. That is the unfortunate reality in Zimbabwe politics today. The truth of the matter is the political system that we have got to break the mold. If we don't break the mold, it will carry on. I think for most of the lucky ones who are outside the country, we can say, well, okay, even if they are rigged next year, it's okay. But if you are there in Zimbabwe right now, you are part of the 90% who are unemployed. Next year, if the elections are rigged, it will be really one of those situations where you are seeing people are disappointed. And I can predict on this program that I think we are going to see a new wave of people trying to leave the country again, going to South Africa, Botswana, and so forth. And it's already clear that if we're going to see a big wave going to South Africa, the xenophobia, violence will flare up there as well. Because South Africans will see themselves as being threatened. And that is the unfortunate reality in Zimbabwe.
So basically, you are saying that ZANU-PF are going to win this as well?
Yes.
Okay.
They are going to win their 2/3 majority or so, and allow the MDC or the other small opposition parties to win the 1/3, to keep them interested in participating in elections. That is the trick.
All right. But again, we'll try something different here, because I really want to hear from Sekuru. So I'm going out of my way, really out of my way. Let me see if what I'm trying can work here. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Sekuru, can you hear me? Ndakubata ipa mobile wakasekuru. Because the Skype yenyu yakadhakwa kana.
Apeno kuti yakaitwa sei ndinaro yaredhiyo yangu imimi because unobhedha ringoti reforms apeno kuti chamuri kutaura baba.
Sekuru, nditaurirei kuti mungakwanise kuti taurisei bichana here. Nditaurirei kuti munofunga imimi kuti ma-election ari kuuya next year achabuda akamira sei, then tozoplaya this after ma-results akubuda toona kuti makamuri kutaura chokwadi here.
MDC panyanga after a runoff.
Aha.
Ndozviri
kuitika. Munoda here kubheja mukono wembudzi.
Unoda ngani?
Ndinoda mbiri dzinotsika sekuru. Ini ndiri kuti ZANU-PF iri kutsvaira zvese with a landslide. Right. Anyway, rikaitisiyana sekuru wakomana zvaramba but mazvinzwa sekuru ari kuti ivo sekuru has just said that MDC are going to win in a runoff. So first ballot, then in a runoff ndopaichazowina. Saka indikati aiwa ZANU-PF iri kungotsvaira straight 1-1 mbudzi mbiri. Saka I'm sure kuti ndinoenda to pari right. I'm counting down now. Tetewe mashoko. Yes, Tetewe mashoko, what's your prediction?
Ini prediction yangu iri ku-opposition. Here is why. Okay. The cat is already in the pigeon coop. In the sense yekuti, I don't know, varikuziya inonzi they awakened. People are awoke now. People have been awakened, but they don't have the direction. My leaders aripo. But my leaders actually vachona kune my leaders kozoya ma semi leaders kozoya ma pretenders and then so forth. The real leaders should now, this is the only time they have. It's almost like running a race. Running a race, panozoti third round paya and vanobuda far ahead and then they take advantage of it. And then richaita kuti the opposition iwin. It's their message. What are people prepared to? What is it? How are they going to motivate Badiki? What's the incentive in the first place for national demonstrator? Yet they know they're going to be shamboked. They know what and so forth and so on. This is when we need true leaders with true, straightforward message. And mobilization at Skutaura, Mushachete, Kutendai, Munosquare, Mstamba Kongoya, station. Tutora, even when in diaspora. Van Maning Bachen's im, donate time at $10, you could never vein much on a MDC, which he married the ended no batsira bacho as second. You wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't come to disrupt Van Maning constructive. So carry on. And the camera phone number, ya chef when you read. So coming back to what I was saying, it's about mobilizing Manvari. The message to donate time and isusu tichakura kidza imari dzedu kuti tiri kudzishandisa sei. They have to be prepared kubanu kuenda kwese kunosvika kunana nembudziya kugoko. Vononosvika ikoko vachinorara ikoko vachinotaura ende vari protected not havaende vari two. So it's about vanhu vachona vari muground, so to speak, ma-leaders acho kuva ma-strategies anoshanda anoproducer ma-results. Other than that, ZANU-PF and vamwe vari in power. Here's why. Vanhu vachinja, people are fed up. Vangarige zvavo, say left, right and center, but they will never be able to be in power again for another 4 or whatever, how many years. No, I don't see that happening.
Okay, so your ticket is on the opposition. Coutinho win. You think
Either
ZANU-PF are not going to win?
they could rig asi kuti vagonyatsopinda vagoita zvavanga vachiita izvi. No, I don't see vana vacho zvibvuma izvozvo. I will tona ini
Right. Okay.
ndinoisapoti. I
No.
don't
Nge pamwe ndingangopinda hangu time yanga iri yasekuru ava vakotsira.
Aiwa chimbomirai timbodzwawo kuna wapedza. What's your prediction, please?
Right. Listen to zvese zviri kutaura vamwe nezviri paground. Any prediction for 2018 is just a stereotyping. I'll qualify why I said that. We are entering 2018 in an enchanted territory. Why am I saying so? Basically, tirikupinda muna 2018 tiine candidate yeZANU-PF in 94 years. Not only that, we are getting into 2018 at a period and time whereby ZANU-PF is fractured. Locusta, G40, Wombofana, and we have other splinter groups at the same time. We are also getting into 2018 at a period where opposition uniting as a coalition. I'll tell you what. Ndanichitarisa the survey yakaitwa Afrobarometer. Surprisingly, it also said 23% yevanhu vemuZANU-PF, they are in favor of a coalition of opposition to unseat them. Okay? This is open. You can check that, and that is a valid statistics according to Afrobarometer. It has never happened that even 23% of ZANU-PF supporters do intend to vote a coalition of opposition, other than Robert Mugabe and ZANU-PF. Now, I normally want to work with the statistics. Back kuti ndiani ari kuwina. Afrobarometer inotaura iyo kuti as of a month ago, 38% were in favor of ZANU-PF, 16% were in favor of MDC. Then if you add the 38 plus 16, you know, and 54%. You don't get 100%, you get 54%. And then if you dig deeper into the statistics, the survey, you find that the 46% which is missing there are people who refused to comment. And you know what that means. ZANU-PF is a terror group, and especially those who refused to comment will not be ZANU-PF. There will definitely be people who are for change. If you add for that 46% plus the 16%, you get 62%. 62%. That's not me. That's Afrobarometer. 62% of people did not endorse ZANU-PF. Now, translate that into 2018. 62% of the vote is likely to go to the opposition, leaving 38% to Robert Mugabe. You do your maths. I've finished.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Wamoyo, you wanted to chip in there with something?
Yeah. I felt there are some issues that we mentioned, but we didn't really dwell on them that much. The aspect of condoning violence, iyo daitanga tasiyana nayo iyo zvachose and condemn it wherever it occurs, regardless yekuti abva kupi. Zvinoti kati uku yakanaka, uku yakaipa, ipapo tiri kukanganisa. The other thing is the language that we use. I think if we use the language, let's go and fight. We are being inflammatory. We are inciting our youngsters to go and do zvinhu productive. Let us be very careful with the choice of words and
Who
the
was
language.
inciting youngsters to fight?
I think we need to desist from that type of.
Who was inciting youngsters to fight?
So if we do that, I think it's good for everybody. Fighting is not
inciting youngsters to fight.
Fighting is good for anybody.
Yeah, would you like to answer that question? Who was inciting?
No, Ninge, I'm making specific reference to. In fact, there are three people who were advocating violence. But let's go and fight. One of them was Chief Soswe and Teto Mashoko and Vapebe.
You belong to a terrorist group.
Baba moyo ndimi muri kuuraya vanhu imi mugere overseas muchiita basa rekusabotaja maconversation ari constructive muchidya mari idzodzo haikona kuuya pinpointing vanhu and training conversation and madiscussions ari constructive munoda kuisa mapersonal agendas enyu eZANU-PF. You are ZANU-PF through and you will never change. Nothing will ever change. Chimbopai vamwe vanhu chance asi china
inini matariro anogara achingori ndiwo mazuva ese nekuti isu vamwe hatichinji nemhaka yekuti chokwadi hachichinji. 1 + 1 is 2 today. It was like that last year and 10 years ago, and 100 years to come it will remain the same. Saka, one of the things is I cannot curtail your freedom of speech and the freedom of expression. You are entitled to that. Although it has nothing to do with the truth, but all I have to do is respect your opinion, and I cannot curtail it because it's just your opinion.
State your candidate and 94 years.
Sorry?
That have you ever heard of a 94-year-old contesting presidential election? Anyway.
Yes. Yes. I heard that to Zimbabwe.
Well done. Huh?
As always.
You are breaking. I have no further question.
Koko makazombonzwawo ndikubuko kwamakambonzwa munhu achienda achidivhotere inini birth certificate yangu.
Hang on.
Chindivhotera birth certificate yangu makazvinzwa kuti
aiwa where guy unozviza age hatibvunzi nenge handiti ka. What you are saying is it's not a matter yekubvunza birth certificate, but at 94 years, huh? 94.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world, in the history of politics,
but
Anna King, Nana Queen, of course, it took to Taros, Anna Queen, Nana King, Aja, Kwesego.
But Robert Geda menu. Geda menu, Nikuti Atakuita ma coalition, yet Trikuita this. How can you do a coalition against 94?
Well, it's, do you know? No, the coalition is not about a 94-year-old.
It's about what?
Is against a terrorist system.
Oh, okay. So here we are talking a system which is not 94. And 94 is an individual.
No. I'm talking about a candidate. That's something else. But what you are saying is system, yes, ZANU-PF as an organization is a terrorist organization. And the Zimbabweans should actually wake up, unite, and declare war against terror. And remove ZANU-PF once and for all. So people can start enjoying real freedom.
Right, Ninge. DJ.
Enjoy the rest of the world.
The other DJ, can I just say something there on what you were saying?
DJ. The other aspect, inyaya yema youth that was exactly what I wanted to say. Yoguti, when you look at the dynamics in ZANU-PF today, it's no longer the chefs and the big ones and what. It appears the actual border is now being played by the youth. Vanachipanga, whatever. Those are the people calling the shots now.
Yeah, but why are they not contesting to become presidents, those people? Anyway, Mukoma Wilbert.
Yeah, Moyo, give other people a chance to speak as well, man.
Yeah, Mukoma Wilbert.
I just wanted to point out the problem in Otarwana Moyo up. Yeah, violence. He seems to be failing to understand, Kuti. When you're talking of the police, we are not talking of the state. The inter-party violence is one thing, but when the state gets involved as well, that is a totally different thing here. You know, we have had a situation in Zimbabwe where, if you can go back to the time of Gukura Wundi, yes, there were dissidents there, but you cannot allow a situation where the state machinery is now being used to kill ordinary civilians, defenseless civilians, because that's where the state is supposed to protect. They are the ones who look to the state for protection, and this is what we have got here. The inter-party violence we are talking about here in Zimbabwe is a serious problem. In 2008 alone, nearly 500 people were killed. No one, as far as I can remember, were ever arrested. Now, that is a problem here. The state, the police is supposed to investigate the murders and arrest those involved. You know, and yet the whole system was just swept under the carpet. There is inter-party violence, and then there is the state failing to do its duty. That is what we are talking about here, Moyo.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now, how does the state play its part? What do you advocate the police should do during that time when violence is occurring? What are they supposed to do?
The police should go in partially and investigate and arrest those involved. We have had situations here in Zimbabwe, even recently, where non-MDC people are beaten up. They go to the police, and the police do nothing about it. That is what we are talking about here.
I can give you a good example. In Ini, right? In Ini, I've been on the ground, and I've been a victim as well. You go to the police inokuudza kuti nyaya yenyu is politically motivated, saka hatibvumidzwi kuipindira. It doesn't matter wapisirwa dzimba, it doesn't matter if you're missing leg, it doesn't. Ukangotaura kuti zvine ZANU-PF mukati, mapurisa vanonga vakatopiwa directive kuti anything MDC ikauya ichifaila a case against ZANU-PF, don't entertain it. And that's a fact, and that is a fact across the entire country. So you see with the ZANU-PF, all these atrocities with impunity, and this is state terrorism at its highest.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Mkoma Elliot. Kuno wakunyora kunoku kwanziko anzi awo anonzi Mukoma Moya wemarwadzo makuru chaizvo. This one is saying that Moyo anotodhunya chete. Not sure if he is serious or just joking nekungofambisa nguva. This one is saying that Moyo does not know how people are suffering back home. He is enjoying the life in Australia. This is the reason why you never hear him saying he is in Zimbabwe. Like, take for example, Sodza and Sikuru. We have been there recently and they go all the time. But we've never heard him saying he is in Zimbabwe or he was in Zimbabwe. Maybe because he knows how bad things are there. I don't know. Maybe Wamoyo doesn't disclose when he's going home or things like that. Who knows? But anyhow, thank you so much for yeah.
Inga zvinonzwa nemuranda kunyana akatongerwe mosva asipo ko ndozvipindurira
Oh, okay, pindurai
ninge imimi vana mukoma imimi vana sekuru nana mukoma muri vanhu vane chiremu vane uremu saka kuvepo kana kusavepo kuenda kwenyu kuZimbabwe it's of interest but kana munhu ari punhawo zvake seni kudai pana angade kuziva kuti ndiri kuZimbabwe here pana angade kuziva kuti ndaenda kana ndadzoka I'm an ordinary person of no value, of no consequence to anyone, and therefore my movements or lack thereof, they are not of any consequence to anyone. So that's why most people would not know what I do and where I go and what happens in my life. Nobody would know because I'm just an ordinary village guy who is not anything.
Who is just a CIO? Is it?
Sorry?
Just an ordinary guy who is just a CIO.
Well said.
No, in fact, I have heard that many times. I think I need to find out is my name there? If my name is there, honestly, I would need the money. I will go and grab it.
The problem even kada MCIO jaya post abvumi kuti MCIO.
Yeah, but
you don't want to blow the cover, isn't it?
No, look, seriously, it doesn't matter if Moyo's CIO. Moyo's problem is that he disrespects the people of Zimbabwe and their suffering. That's my hassle with him.
If somebody is supposed to work undercover, then they don't speak their minds. You
don't speak your mind, Moyo.
I don't pretend. I tell you let's suppose
because you have always said that I was always ZANU-PF, we are just an analyst, and that's what you say.
Yes, that is true.
That's exactly the language you must hear.
I was.
We would have been surprised. We would. Zippy. No, you need to have been in the politics. Hang on a moment.